Hello and welcome to Discussing Documentaries. I'm Adam Morrison.
Hello, and I'm Rick Wharton. Thank you very much for joining. Appreciate you doing the intro there. I got a weird thing about never doing that. Yeah, I don't like adding to my jobs, basically, Adam. Thank you very much for joining us on this one. This one, we are going back to a Patreon pick, which I promised we would finish. So I've drafted in Adam to help us finish up The Innocent Man Part 2. And fuck, was this dark. How are you doing anyway, Adam?
I was doing all right till I watched this, to be honest with you, Ricky. It's dark, innit?
Yeah, I got 32 minutes through this, and I got a phone call from my mate living in Turkey, and he goes, "Ricky, did you hear the news?" Now, I assume he's about to bring up the fact Newcastle are 7 games unbeaten. He didn't. That's not what he brought up. He mentioned that Russia's nuclear weapons are now on high alert.
yeah, I've got that as well.
So I was kind of like, so do I need to finish the documentary or not, was kind of me feeling on it.
To be honest with you, I'm hoping for a Red October. That's what I'm hoping for, so we'll see what happens.
Red October, was that? No, I'm thinking, is that Sean Connery?
Yeah, so the hope for Red October is the film about the submarine, but Red October is the Russian Revolution in 1917, where they overthrew the Tsar and all the higher-uppers.
It is a thing. I think Putin's going to see that shit coming. That's my opinion. That nutcase doesn't seem too trusting of those around him.
No, he does not. There's loads of protests going on out there at the minute. St. Petersburg, Moscow, Donetsk, all them places. But they're all just getting their heads kicked in.
Fucking fair fucking play at them going out and doing that, because that's a risk.
That is a risk, mate. Honestly, they're a different breed in Russia.
My mate was telling us that apparently I don't know if this is true. All mine is hearsay. If you want to hear about a Saudi takeover, which you're talking to an informed man, this current conflict, I'm hearing it from fucking people across the country. I don't know what's going on, but apparently any English citizen can say they want to help in Ukraine, and they're like basically allowed to go and join the effort over there, which. Millwall fans, now is your chance to get in Europe, lads. Come on.
Well, I see a picture the other day of, what's the team out there? Dynamo Kiev?
Yeah, Dynamo Kiev.
So there was a picture of them 2 days before the invasion in their football jerseys playing a game, and now they're all in battle fatigues holding rifles. Like the whole team.
Well, I've just been told, and I'm going to look this up the minute we're done, that the mayor of Kiev, being a fan, you may know the answer to this one, is Vitaly Klitschko.
Yeah.
And there's footage of him shooting down Russian aeroplanes with Stinger missiles.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what's going on in the world. I just didn't want to get the flu again, which I think I have actually got again.
Well, both Klitschko's and Usyk that beat Anthony Joshua they're all on the front line fighting. There's a picture of Vitaly just loading up machine guns like he's Arnie in Commando.
What the fuck is going on in the world?
Mate,
I mean, we got to get...
It's insane.
Listen, all I'm saying, right, before the whole world collapses, you end up in a Fallout bunker, sign up to the Patreon. That's 30 extra episodes you can check out while you're down there. This week, Deliveroo started coming to the northeast, a little bit chuffed about that, and not disappointed I moved out of London. I'll tell you that right now.
No. Oh, yeah, you told me about your Deliveroo experience the other day. Was it the roast dinner?
Oh, I wasn't even going to bring that up, Adam.
Yes.
Wasn't even going to bring that up. All right, then. So, Toby Carvery, right, is finally on Deliveroo in the northeast, so we're like, fuck it, we're going, right? Here's what I ordered. I had a 3-bird carvery, or whatever, 3-meat carvery, with an extra portion of, what was it, pigs and blanket, and a fudge cake and custard. Now, I got delivered mashed potato and a fudge cake. Now, I was fucking devastated. Right, now I'll have to ring them up because I was too emotional. And I'm there in the back while Mush on this photo, this poor last year in Washington, telling her what we've got missing. And I'm going, I had the pigs in blanket as I'm eating mashed potato aggressively.
Mate, honestly, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than getting an order mixed like wrong. Like, just, it's terrible. It's like, well, I wouldn't say it's the worst thing ever, but we're about to talk about something and the stuff going on in the world.
Yeah. I mean, World War III is currently happening, but I tell you what, I was looking forward to some fucking gammon. If I can't speak me truth here, where can I speak me truth?
I was looking forward to some gammon.
What? Did he give us fucking Yorkshire puddings? Like, I would have talked to the guy on the line, right? Who put this in a box? And peas. Mashed potato, peas and carrots.
Oh, Jesus. You sound like you need to take a deep breath.
Nah, I'm currently I'm on an adrenaline high. I'm hoping not. I hope it's just a cold. And since you tell if you do lateral flow tests, that you will test positive for a couple of months after you've had it, which I did have COVID in December. So, yeah, I'm just happy to be doing something.
Yeah, mate, it's good to be. It's good to be back on the show because I did one with Matt.
Oh, was that any good? I never listened to it.
Yeah, it was good. It was about the crack epidemic.
We got terrible feedback on that one. Right, so...
I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised.
Even crackheads were annoyed. But yes, thank you very much for joining us on this one. Anyway, Adam, so since we did this a while ago, I was cheeky. I got you to watch episode 1, then episode 2. Could you give me a quick breakdown of like a few bullet points of what's going on episode 1 in case people are jumping on at this point?
Right, okay, so episode 1...
this is for the influx of Adam Morrison fans we're going to get.
Yeah, so episode 1...
Oh, sorry, just quickly before you start. Right, I don't know if we've mentioned this on any of the other mediums, but there is another Adam Morrison in Kent that's a comedian, and I just had to call you via Messenger, which we never talk on Messenger, so I had to search for your name, and I just hit video message, and I didn't want to be another guy that says, oh, sorry, I was looking for the other one. Because that must be a pain in the arse. I've got a name that sounds like a successful comedian's name from the Northeast, and that was even, a little bit of an issue for a time. But, yeah, I was just like, I didn't want to see that face go, oh, fuck, he's got hair. No, not you, the other one, bye.
You know what, he would have texted me, and it wouldn't be the first time he's done that, so it would have been all right. It would have been cool. It would have been funny for me. So, right, first... All right,
sorry, recap of episode 1, please, Adam.
Basically, John Grisham's written a book, and it's his only non-fiction book, and it's about these murders in Ada, Oklahoma. It starts off 1982, a young 21-year-old girl, Debbie, someone breaks into her house and murders her, but does other bits as well.
Yeah, it's like the Manson family-esque, isn't it, that crime scene? It's fucking brutal.
Yeah. So then they look at her, and they've got Don't Look For Us or Else written... I can't remember, is that written down? No, it's not. That's written down on a table, but for and else is spelt wrong.
It doesn't fit on the table either, though, does it? So they kind of got I mean, it's a weird thing to pick out on someone's personality, but the spelling must have been an issue for these people.
And then I can't remember. Do you know what? I didn't take the note of the name, but they write some bloke's name on the back, and one of them's Billy Charlie, and the other one's John something, but they've both got alibis for the night, so they're not done. A couple of years later, 84, Denise gets kidnapped out of a petrol station, like a 24-hour petrol station, isn't it?
Yeah, she was working there, if I'm not mistaken, and people see her leaving with 2 men.
Yeah,
that rings.
But they didn't think anything weird of it because they looked like 2 lovers until there was 3 of them, and there was 2 nephews and the uncle. They pulled up to get some cigarettes and some change for a poker game. Walked in there, there's nobody in there, they call the police, next thing you know, she's gone.
It's weird you include that. It's just like, all right, I'll do the documentary, but I want them to know that we're degenerates. I was going to gamble.
Yeah. But the two blokes, well, there's three blokes. Sorry, the three blokes they've got a sketch artist down at another shop where they're acting weird, and the woman called the police. So they've done like a sketch artist composite of these people. So you only got two of them, and then they arrest these blokes, Tommy Ward and Cole. Now Fontenay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Now, so Tommy Ward is, I don't know, like they're weird in the interview. It's like they're on drugs or something. Do you know what I mean? The way they're talking.
Yeah.
Like
they're
spaced out. They don't know what's going on. And then that Cole Fontenay is.
Is that this one of what I would call a really slim head?
Yeah,
like
basically he's a Forrest Gump sort of person. Do you know what I mean? Like low intelligence and stuff like that. Beaten by his dad, and his dad had a farm and done some horrible things in front of him with the animals. I don't know what that stuck with me. That made me feel sick actually. So anyway, these two get caught, and then they start just spilling the beans of what they did to this Denise. Turns out there's another bloke called Odell Titsworth.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and they're blaming everything on Odell Titsworth, saying he done the first cut, he done this, he done that. He started off doing the other bits, and then they finished it, and then by the end she was dead. And then they buried her in a house and set fire to it. Now, it turns out Odell Titsworth couldn't have been at the murder because he got beat up by the police and they broke his arm the night it happened. So so he was in hospital with a broken arm.
Imagine when the copper comes through, Chris, you were stamping on me at the time in question.
So then what they deduce is that Tommy Ward was the bloke who instigated it all, and Cole would just do whatever he wanted. But basically, when he was describing it, because he couldn't live or believe he could do it, he was blaming this Odell for it. So whatever he's saying Odell was doing was what he was actually doing. You know, it cuts to the end, and there's Tommy Ward in prison as an old man. He's been in 33 years, and he's saying, I didn't commit the crime. And then it goes into episode 2.
Yeah, that scans. And fuck me, does this pick up episode 2.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the recap on that, because I remember episode 1 being bleak, and it doesn't get a whole heap happier in episode 2. And a through line is the mother of, I want to see Debbie's mother.
Debbie's mum's
every
Peggy.
time she talks.
Peggy or Pepe.
Peggy,
Pepe, they call her, don't they? They call her Pepe.
Every time she talks, it takes 4 points off whatever level of happiness I'm at.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking to see her. She's real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like when I was watching it, I paused it and turned to the wife and said, I could sort of handle it or eventually come to terms with it if it was a car accident or natural causes. But if something like that happened to one of the kids, I don't think I could ever get over it.
No, your life's done.
Yeah.
And just every splinter of this throughout this episode could be its own documentary.
Yeah.
Is another thing of it. It's like 8 Making a Murderer slammed together so far from it. This is I from some of the suggestions we've had from this Patreon member that's suggested it, I can see why it was up her alley. This has got a fucking lot to talk about in this one. So it kind of starts off right. It's got this Oklahoma tourist come to Oklahoma video going, look at our fields. We have cows in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It just reminded us that I've got this VHS, and I'll never forget it because it was before VHS boxes were the size of the cassette.
Yeah.
When they used to make them they would fasten into them and be much bigger.
The big box.
Yeah. And it was like that, but for Flamingo Land. Come to Flamingo Land. And we watched it. It was like a 1987 video, and I remember watching it before we went 10 years later. And it was it'd show you the parrot riding the bicycle, and then you go there, and the parrot's now got, a 20-a-day fucking nicotine habit.
Yeah, it's on a crutch with a fucking bandage around its wing.
Yeah. It's just Krusty the Clown of parrots. Right, so now it begins. So as you said, last one ended with Tommy Ward.
Yeah, Tommy Ward.
And now it's his recount of what went on. And he goes, so I come home from buying my mother cigarettes and money and getting her money for gambling. I'm making that up. I'm just assuming they're all like that.
Yeah.
But and the mother says the police have been here. He says, well, what on earth for? He says something to do with the girl that went missing. He's like, well, I've got no idea. Will you take me down to the station? And they go to pull off the drive, and the police pull up and nab him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, that's got to be scary, because it's like, I was going to the police station. Like, yeah, sure you were, Tommy. In you get.
Yeah, so then what got me is that, so you in the first episode, you saw the interview, and they're like, like we said, it seems like they're high on drugs. They're confessing to it. But before they go to that interview, he's interviewed by the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. Now, the bloke who runs that, if I was an American cop, that's who I'd want to be. Cowboy boots, jeans, cowboy hat, jacket, shirt and tie. Do you know what I mean? That's like, straight out of an 80s movie, that geezer. That's who I'd want to be. But he's going, no, I didn't do any of this. I didn't do that. I wasn't there. All that. Like, going, I don't know.
In a different kind of timbre to his voice as well. Like a completely different idiolect. He seems like, not wrecked when he's talking.
Yeah, it seems like, it's normal. Not under the influence. Yeah, definitely.
And it's his recounting of it. It's just, would you come down to the station, look at the composites? And again, if you've seen Making a Murderer, the stuff that happens with composites and how things can be distorted. I mean, composites scare the shit out of me. It's basically the blank face, thick eyebrows, and a beard. Do you know what I mean? Like me and you.
We're done, mate.
Like,
we're done.
You could be done for a murder I fucking do. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oh, wait a minute. They didn't say he was 6'7". Did he talk about the Newcastle takeover during the robbery? He didn't. All right, it was the one from Kent.
Wait a minute. The bloke from Kent talks about the Newcastle takeover because that's all he's talked about for the last 6 months.
What's it? It's a comedian called Adam Morrison. All right, we'll get him.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, man, it's totally different. But
sorry, they take him for the composite, and they're showing him pictures, and then immediately go, "You did it, didn't you? You did it. You see, you did it." Murderer says what? They just hammer it home constantly.
Yeah, and he keeps saying, no, I didn't do it. And then, then he just gets weird. And then he starts talking about a dream. Where he's...
Oh, this.
Okay,
like...
Have I jumped forward a bit? I don't know. I think that's all part
No.
of it.
No. I'm just having it... Like, I wouldn't tell a close friend about a fucking dream I had.
No.
Never mind a dream I had about a missing person.
Yeah, so...
All right,
the dream was... I can't remember the beginning of it, but in the... So there's a bit in the car where there's a bloke kissing a woman in a truck, and he goes, "If you don't like it, go home." Who is the
agent from Entourage, by the way?
Yeah.
If you look at that guy's face, that's Jeremy Piven.
I didn't think that. I thought, Jesus, his career's taken a slump. And then he's washing mud. Like it looks like, if you go down the beach and you get that black wet clay on your hands, do you know that sort of colour stuff? Like he's washing that off his hands, and he's telling them that, and I'm like. That just makes no sense. Why would you even say? Like, why would you say that? Like you said, I wouldn't even say it to the wife. Oh, I had a weird dream last night. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's time because they say he went in at 10 in the morning, and then at 6 they record him talking about the dream, and then release that to like the press as a confession, which is fucked. Do you know what I mean? Like, but. When I've done the 9 to 5s, like if they're at 6 and I'm meant to leave at 5, I'd admit to anything to get out of those places.
Oh man,
do you know what I mean?
I get that 1,000%. What's that? Who stole the staplers? Yeah, me. Right, see you later. Do you know what I mean? I just want to get out of here.
Shopping, I needed to get a suit for a funeral by like after 3 hours. I'm like, listen, I'll wear a fucking clown suit, please. Just let me go. Let me go. That one, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the Dumb and Dumber one. Come on, let's just get that out of there. So after the dream, I can't remember what happens after the dream. I'll go through my notes.
Right. After the dream, we meet a guy called Pastor Bad Wolf.
Oh.
Bud Wolf, not Bad Wolf. I've read that. Vicar Bud Wolf.
Yeah, and I'm looking at my mum. I'm phoning up my mum going, why have you named me Adam? Do you know what I mean? Why can't I be Bud Wolf? Because that's such a cool name.
Yeah, there's a comedian in Kent called Bud Wolf, just like sign of relief there, going, "Oh, thank fuck, I can actually have a domain name."
Yeah, I have bought every single one.
But the first thing you see of Pastor Bud Wolf is he's carrying a gun. Yeah, carries a gun while he's in church.
Oh yeah, 5 in the clip, none in the chamber, because consciousness is my morals.
Yeah, and he says, "I've thought about this a lot. I would shoot someone if it was in self-defense, but I am against capital punishment."
Yeah, that's what he says. But I get that. Like, if you're self-defense is self-defense, isn't it? But I get what he's saying about capital punishment, because there's always stuff coming out later down the line where you're like, oh, because there was a case over here, wasn't there, where they hanged someone, and then a few years later they found out she was actually innocent.
Was that the one that overturned it all and stopped it?
Yeah, because you got to be right on the money with capital punishment. There can't be no.
And I think things like this prove that, because you can't trust confessions entirely.
Yeah, but not only you can't trust confessions, but you also can't trust, like, these district attorneys. All they want is the conviction. They're not really bothered if you're innocent or not. That's what it comes across like.
Especially when it's a high profile. The minute there's pressure on them to get something done, it's something that they're hopefully working on. Because I've seen a lot of documentaries involving like the Innocent Project and people like that. But police officers are trained to obtain the confession, not the truth, and there is a big disparity between that. But then he quotes the Bible. He goes, it even says in Matthew 2:22 that an eye for an eye. It's just like, people with guns are only concentrating on the redneck proverbs. Do you know what I mean? They know 6 proverbs like, it's bad to be gay, it's alright to shoot someone. Like, they never give a fuck about not eating pork on a certain day, or how to treat someone's goat, or whatever else is in the fucking Bible. There's like 6 things they remember and harp on about it.
They do that, an eye for an eye, we've got to do an eye for an eye. But they never go, an eye for an eye. If everyone done that, the whole world would be blind. Do you know what I mean? They never go that. They always miss that little bit out at the end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but wasn't it Jesus that said, turn the other cheek? He went, nah, but he never asked his dad before he said it, so I'm shooting the cunt.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, turn the other cheek unless, you don't want to. That really matter, mate, to be honest with you.
And then it goes back a little bit through the history of it, like Debbie going missing, Tommy Ward's arrest, and the police say, we knew who did the Debbie Carter murder, but we can't do anything about it.
Yes, because they haven't got the evidence. This is when I don't know, like this geezer that they picked up for it. This is for the Debbie Carter murder, which isn't it? Which is first.
Yep.
So Ron Williamson. It's like
Ron Williamson, Dennis Fitz.
Yeah, Dennis Fitz. So Ron Williamson.
Now, all those guys is these two. It's their own fucking documentary. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the first 10 minutes of this, I'll let you give your opinion. But like their backstories are just like Jesus wept. Like in a nutshell. Like you crack on. What if your take on it there, pal?
So Ron Williamson, he is from a very young age, maybe high school, is picked to be the next Mickey Mantle in baseball. Like, he is meant to be mustard at baseball. Gets into Oklahoma A's, which I think is one down from Major League, is it? The A's?
Single A, I think that's where you go before the majors. Yeah, it's something like that.
So he's in there, he's killing it. And then all of a sudden he gets into drink, drugs, women, partying, all that stuff. Ends up doing his shoulder. Ruins his shoulder, goes to rehab, thinks it's better, injures it again, goes to rehab, comes back one more time, injures it straight away, and that's him. He's done. He's out of Major League. Now, then he's obviously on a spiral of, I would say, depression, because he had the world in his hand, do you know what I mean, to be the best in the world.
Yep.
The best in America, I say the best in the world, they're the only people who play it, but yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's just like
yeah, America. Yeah. Learn how to play cricket, a real sport.
It's just rounders on steroids. So
it actually is. Yeah. It actually is. They give you with all the steroid cases coming out of baseball. It actually is.
And then so he then goes and gets arrested for forcing himself on two women, one in Oklahoma City. I can't remember where the other one is, sorry. I forget where the other one is. But he gets found not guilty of both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they pick him up because they're like, well, he's got previous. And in the end, it turns out he only lives something like 10 houses away from Debbie.
Yep. And when I first saw that, when you see that bird's eye view, I went, well, he's not doing that bad because he's living in this like little suburb area, you know. And he goes, oh no, he lives in his mum's shed. You go, okay, he's a killer. Like you can't. Like if you think you're going to fucking Major League Baseball, you end up in your mother's shed. That's just like a psychotic break. That doesn't excuse anything he's fucking done, but that is a huge red flag that this guy did it 100%.
Yeah.
And it's just, if he just had a friend that came to him and said, look, I know it didn't work out in baseball, and the shoulder injury, it was the worst look in the world, but you just have to shave the mustache off, mate. You got to get rid of that mustache.
Yeah, and that fucking mullet thing that you've got.
Oh, the collar. It's the collar of a killer.
Yeah.
The collar of a killer.
He's got all the characters, like stereotypical trademarks of a killer. Do you know what I mean? The moustache, the backstory.
If he's in the bill, he's in for one episode, and it's not hard to convict him. He talks about the female copper's tits in the interview. He's...
Oh, but then there's loads of other things in there. So he's in the nightclub, I think it's called the Connaught Club, having an argument. She's like this. Debbie and him are having an argument at the bar, or they're chatting at the bar. This bloke walks past. She grabs him and says, "Can you save me?" So he takes her for a dance.
Yeah, this the eyewitness, not because she's arguing with Ron Williamson, is from what I took from that.
Yeah, so she's arguing with him. He takes her for a dance, and then that's the end of it. And then later on, there's the Carpenters, Terry and Chris Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
Who are driving home. As they're driving past, out the car park, they see Debbie in the car pushing a man away, which we're guessing is this Ron. It's not said it's Ron, but he's pushing him away. She gets in the car, drives off, and then it goes into this Fritz bloke.
Yeah, the Fritz bloke, fucking hell. Like, so he was a teacher. Like, when he said a teacher, you went, you fucking what? He was like a square guy, regular career. And then his missus gets murdered in like the most horrific, like Christmas Eve, by a neighbour who asked to use the phone and then abused their daughter who was left in the room with him. Yeah. She says she's going to call his uncle, and he comes back and shoots her through the window. And that again, that breaks him. Yeah. That absolutely kills Dennis Fitz.
Yeah, I mean, he was a loving father, a good family man. As soon as that happened, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't look after his kids. The kids had to go and stay with their gran, and then he just drifted, didn't he? Job to job, not being able to, and then he ended up in Ada, and then hooking up with Ron.
Yeah, and this is all cut together with interview footage of them.
Yeah.
The Ron interviews are fucking harrowing to watch.
It's his laugh that gets me. When he's laughing. Yeah. But, you know, like, I've got that nervous shotgun laugh. Do you know, like, I laugh at what I'm saying halfway between saying it. So if you were like, yeah, they got Rick Wharton down in custody, I'm like, what? I say what? And I would look so fucking guilty. Like, unbelievably guilty in an instant. Yeah.
And then you've got Detective Dennis Smith, who looks like Hank from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, mate, he looks like he can handle a few cases. Do you know what I mean? He looks like he's been around the block a few times.
Yeah, and he wants the mother of Debbie, I believe it is, to sign a petition to exhume the body so they can get handprints from that. And that, again, she says, okay, I will, as long as I can go with you and I can hug my daughter one last time. They go in the morning without telling her and take the body. So she's like, she spirals, she goes off, and she gets a thing for drink driving throughout the night. She's just gunning down the highway, smashing cold ones.
Yeah. See, I get why they did that, because if I was the copper, I would have been right. I'll take the stick. Let's dig her up before the mum gets here, because we can't have the mum seeing her baby in any state of decay. Do you know what I mean? I can't go through personal experience. Like when my sister's baby died, And I went in to go and check the baby to make sure it was sort of passable as a baby, because when you're dead, you're not passable as a person, are you? Do you know what I mean? When you've had all the stuff.
Fuck.
So I went in and made sure the baby was looking like a baby before my sister walked in. Do you know what I mean? It was, I get that totally. I get that totally why the police done that. And I think it was a good call by the police to do that, even though it didn't help her out. But
I don't think it was a bad call. What I would say is they just had to be honest with her. No, this is to capture your daughter's killer.
Yeah.
All right. I think they would have had to stay firm. But if she was stonewalling for weeks, maybe, and then this whole case is getting away from me, might do it again. Yeah. I'm not in that position.
But then she spirals out. She's been on antidepressants for like 35 years, and you just feel like Jesus. Like even like the her niece is like the whole family's ripped apart now. The whole family is destroyed because of this one. Like, we're only on episode 2, so somebody else could come out of the woodwork. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what, this episode, like, it was as bleak as the first, but man, did it leave on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like, because it goes into then the trial for Williamson, and he ends up fucking flipping the table over.
Oh my God, yeah. That's the bit that got me, because she's sitting in here. That Debbie's mum, Peggy or Peppy, is sitting in there going, "Is this how we threw my little baby around?" And I'm like, "Fuck, man, that is that's when I paused it and said to the missus, like, Jesus Christ, I don't think I could ever handle that."
And it's just like, that doesn't look good to a jury either. Like, when you try to, and it seems to me, right, by the language of the judge, like that the table was fastened to the floor.
Yeah. It's fun.
So, because the judge went, can the record reflect he attempted to flip the table? So you can imagine how angry that would have made. Like, fuck you guys. Give us your file.
But then, if I was if I was innocent and I was being tried for, I would flip out. Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you, when we do episode 2, right, if you see footage of Ron Williamson in the interview room again, check out the size of that man's hands.
Oh my God, they're shovels, aren't they?
They're like fucking catcher's mitts themselves. And you wonder he's minted fucking baseball. He had like Andre the Giant level size hands.
Yeah, they were massive. Yeah, it's just...
And then they say they found a pubic hair, but again, I'm kind of ruined for some of these. I've seen so many true crime documentaries doing this podcast and prior to it. So like they're going, so this is like 1984, and they said they found pubic hairs, and they said they were similar.
Yeah, on
like
a
that's
on a washcloth.
Yeah, that's like Detective Dennis Smith going, are they both black? Yeah, great. Okay, they're same guy. Get him in there.
Yeah, so that happened in 82, didn't it? And then they got arrested 84?
84-ish, yeah, something around the time of the second murder.
And then, now, I was going to say, surely he would have washed the washcloth before then, so like there would be no trace of it. But if he's living in the shed in his mum's, I don't think he's too worried about, he's probably still got the towel and stuff that ain't never been washed, so... Because I know, like, when I'm on my own for a week, I use one towel, one plate, and they just stay on the sides. They don't get washed up. I just reuse them again. Do you know what I mean? Blokes are fucking disgusting. That's the fucking be-all and end-all of it.
First year uni, my mates were already in their second year because Ricky had to do a few laps of college to get the UCAS points up. One chair at a time. So... That's a reference. Sorry, that's just a reference because when we gig together and have to set up a gig, that Adam's commented on how many chairs I move at once, as opposed to Lenny from Mice of Men over there doing 16 at a time, putting us back. But so I got up Manchester to visit my mates, and they're already in like their own flats as opposed to halls of residence. And now I bought like a Rustler burger or something cheap and nasty to eat. And I went, where's the plates? And like there must have been like some kind of apocalyptic fucking argument about mess because everyone had one plate each, one knife and fork each, and it was there. It was up to them to look after theirs. And I'll never forget seeing me mate Dom go under this fucking thing to pick out a plate. It's like, oh, there's some trust issues in this house. There's been a chat. And then we hear, so during the trial, we hear from Andrea Hardcastle, who had also been assaulted by Williamson and didn't come forward but testified in it. And that must have been probably the most damning testimony.
Fair play to her, man, because that ain't easy.
That's fucking brave. Because if he gets off, he's not moving house anytime fucking soon, is he?
No.
Like, she lived opposite him.
He ain't got a lot going for him, has he? He lives in a shed. Where's he going to go? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, fair play to her. That was some courage right there.
So Fitz was found guilty, 1 vote off the death sentence. Ron was found guilty. Was he voted death penalty?
Yeah, voted. He was voted to die, yeah.
So he was sentenced to death. Cuts to the cousin talking about everything that they had been through, her auntie having to be admitted to psychiatric help, and then says that Debbie was just collateral damage and it was all for nothing.
Yeah.
Because now it says 12 years later, which that scans with DNA testing if you go by making a murderer, that there's evidence to prove that these guys didn't do it, and the episode fucking ends. I thought that's got me hooked now. Like, I want to know what the fuck happens of this.
Yeah, so this is, like, who's going to come out? Like, that Tommy Ward and Carl Fontaine, they definitely did the first one. Like, I don't know. Do you know what? I don't even know. Like, thinking about it, they're drugged up. These two, I don't know what's going on.
So you think Tommy Ward's guilty from this?
Oh, mate. Do you know what?
The Martin Luther King of forced confession.
Yeah.
You had a dream.
That is so good. Do you know what? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I keep changing my mind.
I'm gonna say this, right? Because it did kind of stick with me, right? They're looking at pubes. They don't know how to test for shit. They're just looking at pubes and saying they're similar. Yeah. And that stuck with me. So 12 years later, around mid-90s for DNA testing, exonerees, that scans with a few documentaries I've seen. Here's 2 glaring things that I've seen, all right, that I'm picking up on, and I want to see how this transgresses. Number 1, Detective Dennis Smith hasn't said fuck all in this documentary, right? They got one picture of him looking very fucking serious, and a couple of those police officers, I don't know. I think they needed quick convictions or something.
Well, that Dennis Smith as well, not only is he an Ada resident, but he has a daughter the same age as both of them girls who knew both of them girls.
Yeah.
So there's a personal, I forgot about that, there's a personal connection to it.
Very personal connection to it. And then point number 2, and I don't think this can be overstated enough, the documentary is called The Innocent Man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's obvious, yeah.
Like, I don't mean to give any spoilers away, but if I was to take a wild stab in the dark here, which that happens a bit too often in this documentary.
Yeah. It's interesting to see who's going to come out then.
Very much so, because 2017, Tommy Ward's still in the jail.
Oh my God. What if it is the police detective?
Oh shit, that would be something,
wouldn't it? Not heard nothing from him, like you say, and he knows the girls.
That would be fucking mental if that is the case. I now that I've seen episode 2, I'm looking forward to rifling on to episode 3. If you want to do that this week,
yeah. I'll watch them this week. I'll watch.
You're a night, aren't you? You can go do a night shift, watch that misery, then talk to me about it.
I will not watch them at work, just for the record.
just for the record, yeah.
But yeah, we'll get episode 3. Mate, I'll probably watch episode 3 tonight. I don't think I can wait another. Well, saying that, the Netflix on my phone keeps messing up, so I'll have to watch it tomorrow.
Try your IPTV Smart SD, that might work.
Oh, is it on there, is it?
More stuff's on there. I'm still waiting for Spider-Man, but I'm refusing to pay for Spider-Man. I went to see the fucking Eternals and got COVID. I'm not going there for Spider-Man as well.
What did we watch? I took the kids and the eldest daughter's boyfriend to go and watch Spider-Man, but they'd sold out, so we ended up watching Ghostbusters instead. Probably the best turn of events in the history of cinema. It was so good.
Well, I don't know. I've heard Spider-Man's really good.
Spider-Man is really good.
You're not ready to see Spider-Man yet because you're not up to date on it.
I'm not ready to see it. To be honest with you, the boy's dragging his heels about watching Endgame. We've had a few arguments about it, Ricky. I ain't going to lie. It's getting a bit more heated than the whole Spider-Man versus 4 Halloween costume.
Do you know what? You showed weakness by saying that something was cool. That was your issue.
Yeah.
You should, if you're like, yeah, whatever, you can come watch it as much as you want. You jump straight on it. Now you're like, can we watch it? Like, oh, get away from us, Dad.
But to be honest, I'm glad that I waited to watch all the Marvel films with him because I don't think I would have enjoyed them without him. They were mental. They were so good. Loved them.
That's awesome. You need shit in common, man. Like you need a thing that you do together.
Yeah, well, we do. He's got. I'll tell you, he's 8 and he's just got his first girlfriend. Right. So he come home and he went, "Yeah, I've got a crush on this girl, and she's got a crush on me as well." And I was like, "Oh, mate, right." When we get home, we'll practice. We'll run through what you're going to say to her tomorrow when you ask her out. It's like, yeah, cheers, Dad. So we got home, and I was like, right, first of all, you got to walk up to her and go, yo, what's happening, my darling? You all right? You know what
oh, my God.
Like that, right? He was going,
you're a terrible parent.
He was going, I can't do that. And I was just laughing. I was going, because I wanted him to try and do it. And he couldn't do it. I said, right, just be yourself then. So he got someone else to ask her out, and now his boyfriend, girlfriend. And he's all happy and that.
That table's just getting bigger and bigger for you, like.
Yeah, it's,
are you in your shed there?
I'm in my shed, mate. I'm in my shed. And I've got a moustache, and I'm trying to grow like the back of my hair out to be a mullet. Do you know what I mean? So.
You know, I do sometimes just let my hair grow in just a little bit to go, oh, is Control Alt Delete work this time? Yeah. Nah, I'm still looking like Rafa Benitez.
Oh, gee, mate, I tried to grow mine in the old lockdown. It got, I don't know, about 1.5 inches long, and I was like, oh God, I can't go through this again. I can't go looking in the mirror, weeping that my hair's going. I just have to shave it off. Oh,
I think I told you this on one of the other things we do. Like, I for some reason, I'm just not a guy who looks in the mirror a lot. I don't. It's a weird thing. We went like 12 months with only like a little mirror for brushing your fucking teeth in the kitchen, in the bathroom. Like, I just don't. And I had to go and try on a suit for a funeral the other day, and I prepared myself for the full length mirror. Do you know, like I mentally, like, you're not in your best shape here, what? All right, this is not going to be good. Just put the shirt on quickly. Don't. You're fine. You're going to be all right. Get through it. What I hadn't prepared for is the mirror around the back, just to show how fucking bad my back is looking right now. And my girlfriend has like been asking me for like months, like, do you use the loofah? I'm like, what the fuck is the loofah? Is that like a toilet? I thought the loofah was like a toilet brush that she just left in there for some groceries. But yeah, I just got the shock of my life. It was like a horror movie. Do you know when you look through like the bathroom mirror and someone's behind you? I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, the loofah, mate. Did I tell you about the gilet? Is it a gilet, the body warmer that horse riders wear?
It might be.
Is it called a gilet?
I thought it was a razor.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You mean a Mach 3?
Yeah, so someone said a gilet, and I was like, no, it's pronounced Gillette. And they were like, you fucking idiot, it's a body warmer. I was like, oh, Jesus. I knew I was common, but I didn't realise I was that common. A very good friend ripped me about it. So I'll tell you his name when we're off, Ricky. In fact, you know about him anyway, so...
Does he have a weird sounding voice by any chance?
No. It wasn't one of them gigs. It was another gig.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I like guessing these.
Yeah.
So before me and Adam get into our very bitchy of the comedy circuit rhetoric, first off, I want to apologise at how long it has taken to get this one done. This is for one of our best Patreon members. I'm looking forward to doing the rest. So we may give in on how long it takes what, because I don't know if Ricky has to go back into quarantine. That's the exciting thing, Adam. Like, This is Yeah, and you saw what that was like. Chapman Ricky's back on the fucking go, picking the laptop back up in the Hall of Fame of Championship Manager.
I just imagine you being like that thing on the bed in Blade when you open the curtains. UV, oh no, the sausage roll crumbs are melting on my chest.
Rick, why are you taking 22 cups up with you? It's a trophy cabinet. I'm adding to it.
That photo you sent of the cups, I was crying. There was just so many. There was no need for that many cups. I don't think there's that many cups in a shop.
Well, look, tensions will wane, right? So I'm fully locked down. I'm in a room with an ensuite and a mattress like a crackhead, and I'm playing Chapman all day, right? My entertainment was Football Manager and phone calls off you to see how I was doing on Football Manager. And it started super well. Like, our last was fucking brilliant throughout it, but you could tell patience was starting to wane, so I went, fuck it, forget about it, just leave the cups in here.
Oh, mate, I've been your missus. When my missus got COVID, man, I was like, I'm having fun with this. Purge siren, make sure the kids lock all their rooms so you can go out in the back.
Oh, when she went for exercise.
She could have 10 minutes of yard time a day. You know what I mean? Put the old purge siren on. Whole house went into lockdown. The dogs got locked away. The kids got locked away. It was like Mean Machine with Vinnie Jones. It was like the Jason Statham character. Do you know what I mean? Just walking through. No one could go near her. The monk. That's what we should have called her. The monk.
All right, so this is just a little short one, but we've got episode 3, 4, 5, and 6, and maybe even a wrap up to come on Innocent Man. So thank you again to the Patreon member to suggest this one. You're awesome. And if you would like to hear any more Adam and Morrison and Rick rhetoric, fuck me sideways, and we've been pumping some shit out. So do you want to... So what else have we got since we're trying to monetize any hobby we have? Jesus, number one is Adam over here got a Football Manager job, an actual job as a football manager, and we have a podcast being released documenting the success of that, the highs, the lows of, can I say the name of the team?
Yeah, say the name, man. Go on, you might as well.
All right, so he's been appointed the manager of Southern Water FC in the County Kent Management League, and I have fucking loved it. There's videos online if you check out what's your Instagram there, Adam.
It's at Adam Morrison Comedy, and if on Facebook as well. If you want to follow me on Facebook, it's Adam Morrison Comedy on Facebook as well.
All right, so there's some funny clips of that, and then what we're doing is a seasonal one, so there's a bunch of episodes each season, so it's not like this one went up be weekly, but yeah, we've got a whole load to do that. And since I got the new Xbox for Christmas, and I think I want to say Boxing Day, we first played each other on FIFA.
Yeah, we thought we'd just have one quick game, and now we are 90 seasons in.
Yeah, it's been Arsenal v Newcastle for, I want to say at least 450 matches at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone around the world 2 or 3 times, haven't we? But
yeah, draw them in.
I mean,
draw them in.
If you like Arsenal versus Newcastle and chats about decorating and kid stuff, then yeah, tune in.
Check out the Twitch stream, which is, I believe, called Rick versus Morrison.
Yeah, Rick versus Morrison on Twitch.
This was essential so that our loved ones didn't leave us, because we've been 4 a.m. every fucking day playing.
No. Rick, I tell her I go to bed at 1. Don't say 4 o'clock. She'll listen to this.
Okay, all right. Redacted time in the morning. I'll edit that. You're fine, buddy. So we've got a Twitch stream, Rick versus Morrison, Adam Morrison Football Manager. Check them out on Instagram. And as always, these are going to start becoming back to regularity, given that someone doesn't push a red button in fucking Moscow right now. So, yep, I hope you're all well. And thank you very much for joining us, Adam.
Thank you very much.
This has been a long wrap up.
I love it.
All right, I look forward to the next episode. You take it easy, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.